So I've already played once and lost. And now I'm on my second playthrough, about two-thirds of the way through my second playthrough. And I'm going to see if I can succeed this time. I definitely understand the game way better now than I did the first time through. So I've got some hope, but, you know, you never really know. So I should preface this by saying 11-Bit, who made this game, are some of my favorite indie developers. They made one of my favorite games from a couple of years ago called This War of Mine. I've just started, replaying it to get in the mood for Frostpunk. I started replaying it on my iPad on the way to work on the bus every day, and that game is still really good. If you haven't checked it out, do. But what these guys are great at is coming up with just horrific scenarios to try to survive, and giving you tools that feel morally questionable and make you sort of wonder to yourself, what would I really do? What kinds of things would I be willing to do in order to survive? Hey, Coconut Kid. Welcome to the chat. So, this is my town. I've been working on this for about a month, and by a month, I mean a month of game time, not actual real time. Just to kind of introduce you to what's going on here, we've got the temperature, which is one of the most important things in the game. The setting here is this: I've got a bunch of people who used to live in London, kind of a steampunky version of London, when a sudden freeze hit the Earth, and everyone is just dying of the cold. And these people have escaped to this crater with a big heat generator right in the middle of it. And this is sort of their last hope to survive until hopefully the climate turns around. And so I started with just the generator, and all of this stuff is stuff that I've built since things started. I can click the temperature gauge to show you what the temperature of all these buildings is. I've been building these little steam hubs. They're like little temperature generators, little mini temperature generators, so I've been able to sort of spread out my people without having them all die of cold. Over here I've got a couple of cold factories that I've actually got robots working on, so I don't have to make them that warm. Over here I've got a cold section that doesn't have anybody living in it, so during the middle of the night they turn off the heaters, and nobody dies. And right here, what's going on? Oh well, I'll deal with that in a second. So my main goal here is to keep these people alive until something good happens. So right now I'm doing okay, but I'm worried because this is the timeline of future events. Very much like Northgard, you can see things coming on the timeline and try to prepare for them. Right now, tomorrow sometime, the temperature is going to suddenly drop by 20 degrees. And that's going to take this lovely map here and turn it into something much scarier. And so I'm hoping I'm ready for it. I'm looking here at my generator. I've gotten it up not quite to the top, but I've managed to get enough upgrades that it can make things pretty warm. And so the white line here is how much coal it consumes, and the green is how much I'm producing. I've built up a nice big store of coal, and so I'm going to be able to probably survive this. But we're gonna have to see. It's always a little bit unpredictable. This whole building system. It's got so many trade-offs and sort of interlocking problems and solutions that it's almost impossible to come up with a perfect layout for exactly what you're trying to do. And so there's just always little places here and there where you've made a small mistake or set yourself up for a weird situation. And so when something really bad happens, like a sudden spike of cold, you really kind of all the little cracks in your plan start to show. So I'm going to start time again. I'll keep it going slowly so I can kind of introduce you to all of the parts of the game that I've been working on so far. So the main things you need to survive is you need heat, which we already showed you here. Got plenty of that right now until the cold snap starts. You also need food. I've got these... Oh, wait, before I tell you about that, I've got an event here. What's going on here? A runaway child. Sir, a man is here to see you. He says that his daughter ran away after the news of the storm spread. He wants to borrow a scout sled and go after her. She's a big girl, but she was always very impulsive. She scares easily, the father explains. I must find her before she's lost for good. She's all I have. So I can stop him from leaving the city and hope will fall. I can equip him by giving him extra food, or I can ignore him. I'm going to equip him. Hopefully it'll be good if he goes and finds his daughter. So if I was starving, that would have been a bad move, but I'm not starving. I'm doing okay. So giving him some of my food isn't a bad thing. Anyway, so food is something we need. So this is raw food, which is bad for people to eat. It's going to make them really sad, maybe even sick if they eat it. But if I process it into delicious food, then people will eat it. And so I've got my my cookhouse here, where I'm processing the food into edible stuff, and then I've got my little hunter hangars out here. Like, people will leave in little zeppelins and come back with food after hunting in the like polar bears and stuff, I guess. Here I've got hothouses where we're growing, I guess, wheat and soybeans and stuff. And so the thing I'm trying to do is eventually, at the end of this scenario, there's going to be a massive freeze and all of my access to food is going to be cut off. So I'm trying to not only feed my people every day, but build up enough of a store of food that they'll be able to last through the worst possible winter. So food's important. Heat is important, but heat comes from coal. And so I'm manufacturing coal at these coal mines. These two are actually run by robots. Which is nice because they can work all night, and it doesn't it doesn't cost me any of my valuable people. This one over here, I don't have a third robot, and so this one's being run by people, which is one reason why I've decided to try to keep this one a little bit warmer, because people are actually working there. These two, I left them cold because it's just robots. And then I need construction materials. So I've got steel, which I mine at these steelworks over here. And I need wood, which I get from sawmills, which are cutting these trees down, and wall drills, which are actually drilling into the ice to find frozen trees that I haven't found yet. So that's all the stuff I'm trying to do. So I've built up this elaborate infrastructure to try to support all of these things. And, I've gotten about 2/3 of the way through the scenario, and there's still a few things that I'm missing. I know that I'm gonna want to get my generator all the way up to the top, which means my research I've got to get my research as high as I can in that time. I want to get robots working in all of my really most important production facilities, because a lot of that stuff is going to get cold. It's going to be bad for humans to be working there. And they're also just really productive. And I'm just going to want to make sure I've secured access to all of the critical resources that I need. As much coal as possible, as much food as possible. And I've also just got to survive events like this. So let's speed up time a little bit, get to the point where this freeze happens, and see what I can do about it. Oh, real quick, one other thing, morale. That's the other thing that's important here. So discontent is how many sort of rebellious, angry people there are. Right now, one of my medical facilities has got a few extra people in it, so people are sad about that. And I made a couple of unpopular decisions which have sort of ramifications, but I've also got, I've built up, the blue text tells you I've built up guard stations and a fighting arena, things that make people happier. And so that's fighting over this, that's sort of fighting the negative discontent and making things better. And then I've got a ton of stuff providing hope. And I've been working on this for, 30 in-game days. But every time something bad happens, discontent rises and hope falls. And so I've got to push both of these to try to keep it as good as possible. Because if I screw it up too badly, they're going to kick me out as the leader. Coconut Kid points out that he loves games that tell you what the future is going to be and let you prepare for it. I've actually been playing a lot of games like that recently. Like Into the Breach does it, Slay the Spire does it. Those are more tactical scale, whereas this is more of a strategic game. But still, I have a lot more fun when I can actually plan ahead and respond intelligently to known threats, rather than just getting randomized all the time and having to prepare for everything. I feel cleverer when I'm trying to prepare for specific problems. Okay, you see, we've hit the freeze, temperature just dropped by 20 degrees. So now I'm going to pause the game and have a look at what happened. So some of my buildings, the ones that are the best insulated, are still kind of warm, but a lot of these buildings are chilly, which means that there's a certain risk that people living in those buildings or working in those buildings are going to get sick. And if people get sick, that is bad for me, because then they stop working, so I lose the benefit of their labor, and they start to fill up my my medical facilities. Right now I've only got 5 people in there, which is fine. I only have room for 30, and so if I get much more than that, then things start to get really bad. But I do have one emergency option, which is I can put the generator into overdrive. What that does is, without costing any more coal, it makes everything warmer, but it slowly breaks it puts stress on the generator, and it slowly progresses towards breaking it. So I can only do this for like a day or two before it starts, before I have to turn it off. So hopefully I can use that time. Oh man, the factory's freezing. Hopefully I can use that time to try to get maybe some technology or something that will give me an alternative for keeping things warm. Oh, one thing I want to do. Well, we'll deal with that later. Okay, so my factory is one place where I've got people working, and it's freezing, and that's a really bad move. I've got the heater turned on there, and it's not making a difference. So, okay, right now it's resting time, but once people go back to work, I'll get some more steel, and I'll build a steam hub right here. I've got plenty of coal to add another steam hub, and getting this factory working is going to be a good thing for me. So let's get my steel numbers up to 20, and then we will build a steam hub. Where will we build a steam hub? Trying to so it's funny, so this whole game is built out of circles. Like the map of the game, the map of the city is made out of circles, and then each little other thing you build near the city is also made out of circles, and so the whole thing ends up feeling like a giant Venn diagram. Alright, so I'm gonna put it here. Hopefully that will... Oh wait, no. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is actually the larger radius of the steam hub, which is very expensive. I'd rather not do the larger radius. I'd rather do the smaller radius, which means I think I'm going to need to build a road. So let's build a road here. Because steam hubs have to be placed on roads. And then I'm actually just going to put it much closer to the factory to make sure that it hits the factory even when I reduce its radius. So I'll show what I mean here. So this guy's got 2 range settings. It's got range setting 1, which only affects things that are close to it, and range setting 2, which stretches out the heat effect. But it also costs twice as much. If I look over here at how much I'm consuming, you can probably see a difference. Yeah, there's definitely a difference in how much coal that cost. Okay, so I only need this on during the work days, so that's good. And now, if I turn on the temperature gauge, the factory doesn't even need its own internal heater on. In fact, a lot of these places don't need their internal heaters on because I'm running the whole thing on overdrive. So I'm going to turn that stuff off because all the heaters that I'm running in these individual buildings are expensive, and they cost coal. And if I can avoid spending that coal now, I'll have that coal for later. That's very cold at that wall drill. And do I have people working there? I do. Okay, so so this is a case where I might want to turn on the range to make that thing way warmer. Okay, so that cost me some coal, but totally worth it. And then this place is really cold, and I put it in kind of a silly place, and so it's my own fault, but those people are just gonna have to freeze. So I've got some scouts that are waiting for orders. So my city is out here, but I've got scouts that are out in the field that are trying to find things out in the frozen wastelands. So let's see what these guys found. Oh, they found some people that are on the verge of death. 12 workers and 7 children. So I can bring them to the city, or I can leave them to their fate. Well, I'm a nice person. I'm going to bring them to the city. let's see here. So if I've got like 20 people coming to the city, that means I gotta get houses for them real quick before they arrive. Well, it's gonna be 13 hours. So yeah, I'll need at least one house for these guys. So let's build a house. Gotta build my house somewhere where it can reach a street and where it's heated. Okay, so somebody's gonna come build that house. Oh, I'm running out of room for coal. I should... Oh, hello. I should build another resource depot. I want to be able to hold as much coal as I possibly can. Oh, Discontent is rising. Okay, so some of my scouts just returned with a ton of resources. That is very good. Because it means I've got enough now to build a robot. I'm going to send my scouts out to look for something else now. The snow burrows, sure. Hey there, McKillum. Welcome to the chat. Okay, yes, this factory is now building me a robot, which is very helpful. Because I can... Oh, man. So, I'm already halfway to demolishing my generator, and... Oh, crap! I left the tech tree unassigned here. Steam hub efficiency... Okay, what I really need is this right here. Oh, ooh, advanced heaters, though. Okay, I'm going to grab advanced heaters. That'll help me heat some of these workplaces a lot better. And, okay, so I've got room for more coal over here. And, oh, I'm all full up on food, too, so let's build another resource depot so I can store some food. Oh wait, oh this, no, let's not do this. Cancel that. Because resource depots don't actually employ any people at them, I tend to try to put them in cold places. So I could, you know, I don't want to waste my warm areas. My warm areas is where I want to put my humans. So I'll say this is for holding raw food. So now as my guys collect more food, it will go into there. So it's still more than a day until it heats up again. And you'll notice there's only one little arrow next to this temperature gauge, which means that you know, we went down 20 degrees, but we're only going to go up 10. So what is going on? Some kind of creepy person behind me. Go to bed.
Dad,
What?
I just made the best team.
You're gonna have to tell me about it later, but that's exciting for you. Okay, so my scouts came back. They brought some people, and wow, I've got a lot of people who are sick. This is about to start really stressing out my my facilities. Let's turn on that heater in the child shelter. Wait, why is the child shelter too cold? Oh, because it's... Right, okay. I forgot that I'd kept... Oh wait, but the child shelter is only used during work hours anyway. That's right, okay, I don't need to worry about that. I'm telling you all of these things, I'm just making casual references to all of these things that would have been explained if we had played this game from the very beginning together, but, you know. Okay, so I'm getting nervous because I'm about to have to... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to turn off overdrive. Because we're in trouble. So yeah, I can't keep the generator in overdrive any longer, which means I need to turn on all the individual heaters in all these workplaces. In order to keep people from just freezing to death. But yeah, so now people aren't like instantly dying. My generator's just powerful enough to keep them sort of mostly alive, but it's not great. I think I'm gonna turn on... Oh, and some of these heaters, they're just not even making a difference. Oh wait, no, because it's not work hours. That's right. That's why those ones aren't making a difference. I'm turning them on and nothing's happening because nobody's working there right now. So the bluer a place is, the more likely people are to just get really sick working there. Yellow is fine. You know, people are fine in yellow places. Blue is kind of dangerous. So, okay, so I've turned on a bunch of heaters. Let's see what that's doing to my coal consumption. Okay, I'm still making a profit on coal, so that's good. I'm gonna assign my scouts. Ooh, a supply depot. Another aspect of the game that's really interesting is the Book of Laws. So these are like decisions you can make about how your society is going to run. They kind of give you a lot of special powers for like trying to overcome the morale problems that you face, and also some of the just physical and logistical problems that you face. So I'm just trying to figure out dueling law. Disagreements can be resolved in a duel. Each spontaneous, so being able to duel reduces discontent. Each spontaneous duel will slightly reduce discontent. Sometimes people will be killed in a duel. Okay, so basically, if your discontent is high, you could kick this law into effect, and discontent would drop, but occasionally you'd just lose someone to death. And so you got to decide to make that trade-off or not. And some of these choices, like you actually have to make one choice or another. Like right over here, I decided to bury people in a cemetery, which means, you know, it benefits morale. But if I decided to actually just keep bodies frozen, I could have gotten organ transplants, which would, I don't know, probably help with sickness. So I decided on morale over sickness. But yeah, it's just all of these. Like over here, I decided on child shelters instead of child labor. I could have put kids to work. I decided to keep kids protected, and that's probably going to help my morale. But it's you know, but it's costing me a lot of labor. Like there's a bunch of, you know, useless mouths to feed. So I'm at the point where I can add another law. So I'm going to do Pledge of Loyalty, which gives me a permanent hope bonus, unless... yeah, let's do this. Pledge of Loyalty. So that means overall hope is going to end up getting better, but for right now, discontent is also rising. But I think I can recover from that discontent. I've got some powers to let me do that. Like, I haven't used the propaganda machine in a while. And so I've got these powers that I've bought through the Code of Laws, which lets me just forcibly reduce discontent and raise hope. So I made an unpopular decision, but I was able to counter it because I got these powers built up. Alright, so I'm short on engineers there, so let's... You got, managing your workforce is interesting because you've got 3 different classes of people. You've got engineers on top, you've got workers, and then you've got children. In my case, I've decided not to use children. But different places need to be staffed by different kinds of people. Certain jobs are considered menial, and engineers won't do them. Other jobs are, you know, highly specialized, and only engineers can do them. And some of them can go either way. And so, like the propaganda center, only engineers can work there, whereas the hunters can only be workers. And so sometimes you end up sort of like trying to track down engineers that you can spare in some place where you've funneled a bunch of engineers, because it's an engineer specific building that's run out of people. Just there's so many different like weird layers of management going on, and all of them have the best part of it is they picked a bunch of management concerns to give you that all have weird like social implications. Like I'm dealing with people being snobby about their social class. That's interesting, right? Like that sort of, it feels like it does some storytelling. It tells me something about this world. So it's not just like, oh, here's some numbers to play with. It's like everything they're doing is evoking something about this sort of dystopian world they've created. So it looks like I can actually survive at this temperature, which is heartening. Oh, did I just get a new automaton? Did they finish? It looks like they did. I think I've got enough steel. I'm gonna make another one. Okay, so now that I've got... Oh, the food is coming home. Hello, food. Now that I've got an extra automaton, I'm going to assign it to this coal facility. Now I don't need to heat it anymore because it's just got a robot working there. And I've got some more workers I can put somewhere else. Speaking of which, I really should put some more workers somewhere else. Let's see, I'm trying to think, what do I need the most of? So I got plenty of wood. I should probably try to make some more steel, except I think I've maxed out my steel capacity until I learn to build a better kind of steel mill. Oh, Dan31 noticed that I have a new Twitch avatar. Yeah, no, I got really tired of Puppet Geoffrey because, I haven't used that puppet in a really long time, and so nobody knows what that icon is. So I decided to make one that looks a little bit more familiar. Okay, so I've got like 50 workers I'm not using right now, which is just a giant waste. I've been saving up my my resources to build automatons, but I really should come up with something for these workers to do, or I'm just wasting them. So I can't. So the most powerful resource gatherers can only be put in certain places. I've got way more wood than I need. So what I should probably do is build a charcoal kiln, which will let me turn wood into coal. But I don't have that tech yet, so I gotta wait till this tech is complete. Other things I could do include another hunter's hangar. Actually... Oh, I'm all out of steam cores, of course. So one of the most valuable resources in the game is called steam cores, which are like a fundamental requirement for a lot of things, including like a lot of your most important resource gatherers require steam cores, automatons require steam cores, and you can't produce those. Those can only be found by scouts. And so it looks like I am out of those. So I can't build a new hothouse. I'm just going to build another hunter's hangar and a road to get to the hunter's hangar. So that'll give some of these people something to do. This place is a miserable place to work. Is there anything I can do about it? This steam hub does not quite reach it. But it feels weird to build an entire steam hub just to support this thing. Ooh, advanced heaters. I just got advanced heaters. What does that even mean? I think it means my heaters are more powerful. Yeah, also, yeah, all the places where I've got the heaters turned on are way hotter than they would normally be. Well, that is lovely. Okay, back to the tech tree. So I've got advanced heaters. I could upgrade my generator efficiency, which would mean we would use less coal. Same thing with steam hubs. I could do that. I could... Oh, I don't quite have enough steel to go for the last rank down here. But I had actually been talking about improving some of my resource stuff, like the steam steelworks. I'm not pulling out nearly as much steam as I want. So if I research the steam steelworks, then I'll be able to upgrade both of my steelworks to get more metal coming out of them, which is going to be nice. So I think that's what I'll do. Oh, Dan31 is asking how's my exploration tab looking. So both of my scouts are out right now. I've got one who's on his way out here, and another who's on his way out there. So we'll see how those guys go. I've got one outpost that's giving me coal because I got completely paranoid after my last failed game, where basically I ran completely out of coal and everyone froze to death, and they kicked me out. I got very paranoid about coal. So you can see I am stockpiling the crap out of coal. And I'm just going to keep on adding resource depots to contain coal. I'm going to keep adding them to contain food. Oh, hey, this thing's built. So I'm going to add some workers to it, and it'll start working. I'm a lot more confident about this particular playthrough than I've been. I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I did my first time through.
It's time for rest.
Ooh. The prison looks like it's freezing. Yeah, that's pretty cold. I wonder if this will help. Okay, yeah, I turned up the range on that steam hub, and now that's being heated well enough. In fact, I might even be able to turn its heater off. Yep. So hopefully that balanced out okay. You can see this little green band is getting narrower and narrower as I keep turning on heating that wasn't on before. Oh, you didn't mean... so when Dan asked me about my exploration tab, he was not talking about the world. He was talking about research. I'll look at that in a second. So there's a hungry mother. She came to plead with me. She wants more food rations. The cooks say she's already received her allowance. I beg you, Captain, the woman says in a trembling voice. Your men mean well, but they must have made a mistake. I need 2 rations, one for me and one for my sick child, please. Okay, so either I can let discontent rise, or I can make hope fall. Like, no matter what, something bad's gonna happen. So people will be pissed if I give her extra food. Yeah, let's be nice. We got a little bit of extra food to spare. People got kind of pissed about that. Oh, it says cold at home. That means that there are some... Oh yeah, no, a bunch of homes are cold. That's fine. So Discontent is up, and I'm not quite ready to use any of my powers to bring it down. Okay, we're gonna hold more coal. We're gonna hold more raw food. Somebody's starving because they just couldn't find the food. I've got plenty. And I've got... you know what? I have not been upgrading my medical facilities at all. So yeah, no wonder, they're overtaxed. Coconut Kid asks, are there enemies in this game? Occasionally there are threats that your scouts can face. That's just sort of a random roll, whether or not they succeed. Whether they survive. But yeah, and sometimes there are dissident groups within your community that say, that they're advocating for like leaving the community and abandoning it, and they're causing rebellion and discontent. But these are all just like, again, just things that you manage. I mean, this game is fully a management sim. There isn't like an enemy army that you fight or anything like that. It is completely about managing these folks. Dan31 warned me that I might have made a bad move, that the food that I gave that woman might actually be an ongoing thing. I'm not sure how that works. Alright. Turn me back a little faster. Alright, looks like the food's coming home. Oh, and the heat is coming home. Okay, this place is suddenly way warmer. Yeah, Steelworks is still chilly. This place is still freezing.
No time to wait.
Oh no, that was just because... Yeah, never mind. That was just because it wasn't work hours. Okay, so things have warmed up. Folks are a lot healthier now. Oh, food theft causes riots. So we investigated the discrepancies between the raw food use and the output of the cookhouses. Turns out the cooks are stealing food. People are furious. We caught 1 thieves. They say they wanted to secure their families before the storm shuts down the food supply. So you banish them, post guards. Okay, so if I had not gone the route where I was like assigning guards all over the place, this probably would not be an option for me. So, but because I've got guards, I've got this option to solve the problem without paying any costs. So that's what I'll do. So yeah, my medical facilities are completely overtaxed. My next upgrade should probably be more medical facilities, but for now, I feel like I kind of, to keep from falling completely behind the curve, I should add a medical facility somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe there? Sure, let's put one there. In fact, let's even do 2. And I mean, I've got plenty of workers, right? So, oh, and another thing that I can do is, well, I don't have enough steel to build a bunch of prostheses. Oh, I keep forgetting that I need to research this thing down here for the beacon. There's so many things I want to research. I want to research infirmaries. I want to, I want to check out the exploration tab because that's what Dan 31's telling me to do. Oh, and I got a waiting scout. Thanks, Dan. So, okay, I got a scout who got out here, and what are we doing? Found a bunch of deathly ill people. It's a wonder they're still alive. I can't afford any more sick people, guys. So my first game, I basically said yes to every sick person who wanted to join my community. The reason my community hasn't just completely collapsed now is because I've stopped doing that. So I'm just going to pretend I didn't meet those people, and they're going to be in trouble. But, can't afford to be too soft in this world. Okay, so I've got the Steam Steelworks now. How much does it cost? 40 wood, 15 steel. Oh yeah, that is no big deal at all. Okay, so right now they're making 4.8 an hour. We're going to destroy both of our steelworks and replace them with Steam Steelworks. Staff them up again. And now they're making almost twice as much. So suddenly our steel is just rocketing up, which is great. And now I need to research something else. Okay, so exploration industry. Faster outpost teams, additional scouts. What was the thing that I needed to... Oh, here, this thing. 100 and 100. What? Fine. Can I make that go any faster? I can. Okay, I'm gonna tell my research teams to work faster. So we can get there a little quicker.
Work day is up. Return your tools.
Oh, whoop. Gotta turn the heaters on. These little places have been, oh, and this place is right. Okay. Sorry, I needed to set all this up differently. So I had, because I only had workplaces in range of the Steam Hub, I had it turning off after work hours were over. But that wasn't effective now that I've got 2 medical tents by it. I should have remembered that I did that, and that was a bad move, putting these medical tents next to this thing that I had turned on only for part of the day, because now I have to turn it on for more of the day, and this little coal profit thing is getting even narrower. going on here? Oh, right. That's fine. Don't care about that. Oh, what's happening over here? Doom-mongering drunks. I love these images they associate with this stuff. Dozens of people got drunk and took to the streets. They were chasing after women, yelling that we should have some fun before the storm kills us all. Ooh. What should we do with them? Banish them? Or send them home? I got extra people. Boom! Get out of here. Zero tolerance to that kind of behavior. Oh, this sawmill. It's got no trees. Well, let's destroy it. That's been sitting there for a long time. Looks like some places have been losing people. Oh yeah, so since I banished people, all those workers have disappeared from their jobs. And so now I gotta replace those workers. Oh, we got some scouts waiting. What are they doing here? Deep Hollow. Okay, so I can bring some people back to the city, or leave them to die. Rescuing the they're all wounded. Strap them to our sleds. I can't do it right now, not till my medical facilities are back up. I'm being a cold bastard right now. But, I mean, cold is the world we live in right now, so I don't know if I have much of a choice. Bringing in the food.
No time to wait. We've got work to do.
Oh, we've got a new robot. What am I going to assign that robot to? I could put him in at the steelworks, or... Oh, no. This place that is always freezing. Putting him there. Finally solving my freezing sawmill problem. We're full up on trees. I really should build a charcoal kiln, but that will require research, like all things. Guess it wouldn't hurt me to build a research depot to contain trees. Oh, stereoscopic lenses have been researched. Okay, so it's time to prepare for the storm. Now we know when it's going to happen. So when it happens, hunting will be impossible. Plants in the hothouses will freeze. So I have to get all the food I can before we hit this point. So hope took a huge hit because of that. Luckily, I have propaganda on my side. And I've got laws I can sign. Okay, I'm gonna do forceful persuasion just to see that flaming power there at the bottom. Okay, so I've got this new ability I can use at the prison. What does it do exactly? Well, I don't have any prisoners, so who cares what it does? Oh, discontent's rising because overcrowded medical facilities and some unpopular decisions. Okay, so I need... Yeah, so exploration industry looks like this, Dan 31. I haven't grabbed new scouts. I haven't been really building stuff into my automatons. But right now, I think I really need to improve my medical situation. So, medical post upgrade to start. We got exactly as many sick people as I can handle, and we're only going to get more. So look, right up here, that's the huge freeze that's coming up. Okay, so I've got...
Workday end. It's time for rest.
So we've got some extra people. So one thing we should be doing, we've got a bunch of extra resources. We should be sending out more hunters. Just getting as much food as we possibly can. By the way, I've been under the assumption that I do not have to heat the hunters' places because they all take off in zeppelins anyway. But somebody could tell me I'm wrong about that. Oh, scouts got somewhere? Hey, what happened? I'm down a scout. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that the storm moved across the terrain. I lost scouts because they're over there where the storm is. That's crazy. A bunch of engineers, huh? Okay, let's escort them back to the city, and let's definitely get back to the city before the storm gets here. Wow, I didn't even realize that was a thing, losing scouts to the storm. This is a thing with this game. Just, I'm constantly finding out about things I didn't know about. So, again, I'm nearing the top of what I can handle coal-wise, so... let's build another resource depot. Another road connecting to it. Yeah, we're building a bunch of this. And another thing we can do with the steel that we built up, and we should probably get some more of that, is swapping out older houses for newer houses. Some of our older houses here are not going to be very good at surviving the winter. So if I kill some of these bunkhouses and replace them with houses. And it looks like I actually didn't need those two. So that's interesting. I think I've got more housing than I need right now, which is good to know. Oh, that's true. Dan31 points out that I did just recruit 18 engineers. So having extra housing is not a bad idea. Oh, let's store some coal.
Order, people. Let's march to work.
Alright. Staff this up. And in the spot where that old thing used to be, let's add another resource depot. We're just loading up on the resource depots right now. Pull as much raw food as we can. Oh, what's happening here? So, the people employed at this factory are refusing to work today. They intend to spend the entire shift praying. I can force them to work. Well, you know what? If it's the factory, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not even using the factory right now, so whatever. Do what you want, guys. Okay, I am making progress on my sick people, but we've still got a tiny cold snap followed by a big cold snap. So... yeah, making me nervous. Okay, let's Okay, medical post upgrade researched. Now, let's get infirmaries. Ooh, infirmaries cost steam cores. I think I'm out of steam cores, so I might just be wasting my time. Maybe what I want to do is just build... Actually, yeah, no, this is a waste. Oh, but I'm already committed? Oh, abort. Okay, let's abort that. Let's do this. Because I think I'm not going to be able to build infirmaries. I've already used my steam cores and other things. So instead, I just, it's too late. I'm not going to get any more steam cores. So I've just got to commit to what I've got. So whenever the big one hits, I'm going to have more sick people. I'm also about to have more engineers. So I'll be able to staff up these places. And hopefully keep the sickness problem under control. Okay, I've got a lot of steel here. Let's, these guys still not working? Whatever. Let's make sure that okay, let's kill our bunkhouses. Kill a bunkhouse. Kill a bunkhouse. That's a regular house. Kill a bunkhouse. And now we got homeless people, but not for long. So I'm gonna build them all proper houses. Okay. Healthcare insulation, that's good. It'll keep my places warmer. Ooh, Flying Hunter's gear, what? Oh, yes! I didn't even notice that was there. Oh, wait, what's house redesign? Oh, they'll cost less to build? Oh. Well, I think this is more immediately valuable. Let's get as much food in here as we possibly can. Only got a couple more days.
Last day is up. Return your tools.
Okay, so recall all scouts and outpost teams. So what are these guys doing right now? They're headed back? So how do I recall outpost teams? I'm actually not sure how I recall them. I haven't been paying any attention to these objectives, and, I'm sure you haven't either because it's behind my face. Okay, so this is saying I need 24... okay, behind my head, which is where you can't see it, it says I need over about 2,500 food rations to survive. I don't have that, but I do have enough raw food to keep them going. I can keep processing it in the hothouse, I believe, and keep them alive that way. It's saying I should rescue survivors at all these places. I'm not gonna. And research generator power upgrade 3. I think my chances of getting there are pretty slim, but, whatever. Got so many bunkhouses. They need to be turned into proper houses. I can see why one might value that upgrade that lets you make houses cheaper. Okay, so my scouts have gotten home, and this guy, okay, so how do I disband How do I disband scouts? Like this. Oh. I need to build some more houses without getting rid of old ones. Okay. Let's do that over here. One there. One there. So I want these houses to be within the heat and also within range of my, like, guard towers. Oh, what's going on? A fight over supplies. Alright, well. Nothing I can do there. Oh, stop being sad. So, I got a problem with the fact that they will often overcrowd their medical facilities. You see there's citizen need here, overcrowded medical facilities. I've got enough medical facilities that if they spread out, they'd be fine. It annoys me that sometimes they'll cluster in one medical facility unnecessarily and then complain about it. I'm like, I made more medical facilities for you idiots. Oh, temperature just fell. How are we doing? Well, it's low but survivable.
Order, people. Let's march to work.
I don't want to start overburdening my my generator yet. A mob storms the stockpiles. What? Well, you have 24 hours supply, 920 wood. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. 664. You can totally get there. Let's just work around the clock. I actually have no idea if we can pull that off, but we'll find out. I just won't use wood for anything. We can calm down this discontent. Another way to calm down discontent is with propaganda. Oh, not quite. Okay. We'll do it. Oh, hey, sorry that I frequently lose track of the chat, guys. Apologize about that. Wait. Backpack Live is telling me there's a way to upgrade to houses? Is that... Wait. Tell me more about this thing. So it says, that upgrade that makes houses cheap works better if you upgrade your houses instead of rebuilding from scratch. I didn't know there was a difference. I thought rebuilding from scratch was my only option. Please tell me about this feature that I'm not aware of. Yeah, nope, this is important. Discontent is gonna rise, but I gotta keep those people working. McKillum says discontent in the chat is rising. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I do get really engaged sometimes with games that I'm really into, and I lose track of what people are saying. I apologize about that. Okay, so he's saying bunkhouse, and he says, oh wait, click build house, find a bucket. I can just build them right on top? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now because I'm desperate to get a ton of wood. But, Holy crap, I had no idea that was even a thing. Well, that's great. That's way better than demolishing things. So basically, whenever I've got build open, I'll see these green buildings out here. Those are buildings I can build on top of. I had no idea that was a feature. Holy crap. They really have thought of a lot of things that I didn't realize they'd thought of. That's great. Well, thanks for telling me about that, Backpack Live. It's going to make my quality of life in this game way higher. And apparently I've been wasting resources by doing that. Okay, so making the hunters more efficient is going to be useful. And what else? So after this is done, I'm going to try to sprint towards upgrading the generator. I don't know if I can actually get there in time, but we're going to try. Oh, this costs 150 wood. We're at 854. We're trying to get to 920. I'm going to wait till we get to 920 wood so I can calm people down. We did it! Hope rises! By a significant amount. That's great. Okay, now we're going to go for the last... Oh, and now what? People... They took all that wood? What are they doing with it? Oh, you little jerks. Okay, well, let's get up to 150 then.
Work day is up. Return your tools.
Okay. Are they just burning... If they're burning that wood in their houses and I'm not seeing the benefit of it, that's going to be annoying. Somebody's starving for no good reason. You people are all idiots. You should listen to your wise leaders. Man, by the way, don't you just love the way this game looks? I mean, it is freaking gorgeous. Zoom way in and just everything here. It's so detailed. It's got such a style to it. Okay. Oh, Book of Laws. Okay, let's find out what this last law is. New order. With the introduction of the new order, all who voice doubts will be treated as traitors. Obedience is the highest virtue, without which the city can't survive. All those who did not follow will be swept aside. After introducing this law, another one can be passed. Okay, whatever. Hope will never be a problem again. A public execution space will be built. Some public enemies will die. Some people will feel compelled to fight this law. Some of them will die. I'm going to hold this in abeyance. If my hope situation gets really bad, maybe I'll kick it in. Right now, my hope is really high, so I kind of don't feel motivated to take on the costs of this. Hey there, Hi Cadet. Thanks for joining the chat. Simon thinks we're not going to survive, but Simon's an idiot. Simon doesn't know what he's talking about. It's getting even colder now. Okay. I'm gonna turn on a bunch of heaters. I don't even know what that is. Oh, medical post, yeah. Definitely want to do that. Alright, so I could kick an overdrive right now, but this is only going to get worse a day from now. So I'm going to try to hold out so I can kick in overdrive later. And as soon as free time is up, let's put foreman in all my research stations.
Work harder.
And let's see if we can get to the point where we can upgrade the generator one last time. I don't know if I can do it in the time I've got, because I gotta research the fundamental thing first, and then I've got to do the research on the actual upgrade. Dan31 pointed out that I still had my wood gatherers working 24 hours a day. I don't think I can actually turn that off. Once I've kicked in the 24-hour shift, yeah, I think it stays on. I think I pay just one upfront cost for it, and then I just deal with the consequences. Unless, you know, I'm wrong about that, which has proven to be the case in the past. Okay, so citizens are becoming gravely ill. I'm going to try to house it up. Not too much though. I'm going to need to be able to pay for this upgrade. Okay, automatic prototyping researched. So now heating, generator power upgrade, number 3, and safety bypass. Ooh, that sounds useful. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get this upgrade by the time this hits, but I'll get close. Everybody's going for the last dose of food. Oh, means by the time they get here, I need to have storage space for it. I like the fact that construction can take place at night. You know, all the other work has to happen during certain hours of the day, but construction can happen anytime. Yeah, people are becoming gravely ill. It's about to get horrifyingly cold. Since we've got some steel, let's build some prostheses. Wait a minute, we don't even need extra. I got way more workers than I need. Let's not do that. Okay, as soon as the horrors hit, which is about to be right now. Okay, we'll kick in overdrive to try to survive it. Food's coming in. The storm hits the city. Hunting's impossible. The soil freezes. We have to make do with the food we've stockpiled. Okay, so now we just gotta survive the storm. Okay, hope is almost at the minimum. So I think it's time to kick in the new order. Boom. Oh, no. No, let's not do that. Let's see if we can build hope the normal way. That just seems bad. Let's build some propaganda. Let's patrol the streets with the guards. Now, this is going to be okay. These places are all frozen. That's fine. So we've got a certain amount of food. I think this will be okay. We're at negative 90 degrees Celsius, which is ridiculous. We've kicked in overdrive for now, which will help. I need to get up to steam level 4, though, if I'm going to do any better. If I'm going to be able to last long enough. I mean, look, it's days and days of just frozen nonsense. So yeah, and our consumption is really high. So okay, let's see. What can I turn off? What if I turn that off? Well, that makes it dangerous to work there. That's not good. Yeah, we need this stuff going. We need research. I think we're just gonna have to keep going. Okay, so we got generator power 3, which means, can we un-overdrive? No, wow. Even generator power, but wait, let's get steam level up to 4, hold on. Okay, so some stuff warmed up. Okay, if I turn off any of these heaters, things get bad. Trying to figure out what to do to... Yeah, let's... Nobody's working this sawmill. Let's get rid of it. What else can I do? It's just super cold. So looks like my proper houses are doing better than my other than my bunkhouses. So I've got some steel. Let's swap out my houses. Backpack Live asks if this is my first playthrough. No, this is my second. So my first one was an even bigger disaster. I kept it going as long as I could, just to see what I would find at the end. But so I got almost to the end, but got kicked out right at the last minute during the horrifying storm. Okay, so now that I've done that, okay, these people, they're chilly, but they're not dying, so that's good. What should I be researching? Efficiency upgrade, probably, right? Because... yeah, I'm going down by thousands a day. That's not good. I was relying pretty heavily on this outpost that was bringing me coal all the time. Now that the outpost's been called in, I don't have it. Ooh, but I can increase efficiency at these places. And I can put people to work extra fast harvesting coal there. So what happens to my... Okay, that's way more survivable. It's not going to last forever, but it's better than what it was. Oh, I got 40 freezing people. Where are they freezing? In their houses? Possibly in their houses. Okay, I've got 77 steel. Let's build some more houses. What's this? I still got tents? I thought I'd replaced all my tents. Well, holy crap. Let's definitely replace that crap. Yeah, that was terrible. Okay, let's do some 24-hour shifts on the steel. Need more steel so we can build these houses. What's going on here? Danger of clouds. One of our engineers wants to talk to you. He's concerned about the danger the cold poses to our mines. Oh, man. Okay, so our mines are going to start collapsing now because of the temperature? It's wonderful. That's exactly what I needed. So I didn't even realize that I still had tents in the city. Well, you know, because I didn't even know how upgrading worked. Okay, there are no more tents now. Hoping that makes a difference. Discontent is high. Yeah, they're sad about those emergency shifts, but sorry. It's what it's going to take to keep people from... Oh yeah, so it's just going to get colder and colder and colder. Oh my gosh. What am I researching in? Efficiency? Oh, I don't need that. I need... Reduced by 10%? Yeah, no, let's abort this. Let's do the safety bypass. Wait, not bunkhouse, idiot. House. Okay, so people aren't freezing anymore. That's good. Oh, the mines are freezing. Send people for 10 volunteers we sent to each mine. Some of them may die. No. Okay, yeah, nope. You're gonna burn some folks. That's what we gotta do. But our hope is rising. Alright, okay. I think we can get everybody up to houses. Okay, generator safety bypass researched. Everyone's cold, but at least they're not frozen yet. I should have had more coal thumpers, more surface level coal access. Actually, I might still be able to build that. Kill some of these hunter places we don't need anymore. Replace them with coal thumpers. Just build somewhere else more. Backpack Life said I should send in the amputees. That's very compassionate. Alright, so yeah, let's build a coal thumper right there. Not out of options yet. Random people are dying. So I'm saving overdrive until it gets really bad. Send more people to keep the mines going. I am a terrible leader. Oh, people are feeling so much hope over this for no reason. What's happening? There's still a bunkhouse? What? No, there's not. There's not still a bunkhouse. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. Okay, so send 10 people to work there. And let's build a gathering place next to it. And I mean, I guess there's no reason why I need to keep people staffed in the hunter places, right? You guys can just stay home all day, basically. Okay, food places are unstaffed. We've got tons of people. I feel like... Let's see here. Yeah, let's make another automaton. I don't even know what to do with it, but let's make it. Consumption's still pretty bad. I love the amount of red that is on this map right now. Oh, we need to research something. I could could go with efficiency or advanced coal mine. It looks like they're trying to collapse the coal mines though, so maybe what I want is a steam coal thumper, because it's gonna get 1120 versus 560. Yeah, maybe I should be going for more coal there, or is there something else I can do with heating? It's just efficiency to be using less coal. There's insulation to try to keep. My cookhouse is gonna be pretty important. Ooh, house insulation. What? Yeah, let's do house insulation. Start researching that tomorrow. We should put another gathering post nearby too. Right there. I got more sick people than I can deal with. Any place warm left that I can? Yeah, okay. Here and here, we can add more medical stations, and here, just everywhere. It's getting even colder now. The mines are operational. 43 of our people died. Holy crap. Okay, so... Oh, things are getting real bad now. Okay, so until I get the home insulation, I need to be in overdrive. So we're going to overdrive. It's barely keeping things survivable. I was working on an automaton, wasn't I? Hey, you. Build an automaton. Staff some engineers. Okay, I need to find some extra engineers. There's one there. I wish it was easier to just find extra engineers. Here's some here. I keep sticking them in these buildings for some reason. Let's turn on the heater. Staff this one, turn on the heater. Where else are there engineers? Engineers. Aha, no engineers. Okay, so get some engineers there. So yeah, you can only staff medical places with engineers, so I gotta try to find people with the right social class to work in them. Oh, people are just dying all over the place. Anybody know about a way to see where my engineers are just from a top level? There's an engineer there. Okay, we're pretty close to being able to staff all this stuff. Okay, looks like we've only got one temperature drop left. It's gonna be pretty bad. This place is freezing. Wait, can I turn on heaters? Yes, I can turn on heaters here. Well, let's do that. Raise some hope. Stifle some discontent. We can pull this off. I know we can. Housing insulation researched. Whoa. Okay, let's turn off overdrive. No, let's not. But I think I can turn off some individual. Can I? Nope. Not a lot of individual heaters can be turned off. But if I turn this one off, yep, it's super cold. Alright. Oh, this one. Oh, propaganda center is freezing. What's our consumption looking like? Ridiculous. People are going to be dying in this place, and I need it. That's what's keeping the hope alive. Do I need it? I've already had probably the last effect it's going to have one. Maybe I'll just leave a skeleton crew in there and put those engineers to work on more research. What research? I don't know. I keep not assigning it. Let's just assign these guys out. Alright. And what are we going to research? Healthcare insulation, that wouldn't be bad. An advanced coal mine. That might be our best bet. Coal mining optimization. 10% more efficient. I guess we'll get a steam coal thumper. Yeah, let's... Oh, these take steam cores. Steam coal thumpers don't take steam cores. I'm out of steam cores, so I wouldn't be able to build this anyway. So let's research this, and I'll be able to up my coal mining game. Look at this generator. It is just working its heart out. Okay. 22 hours left of coal. Seems like a bad situation. Let's get everybody working overtime, making more coal. I don't mind kind of overworking these guys. I'm eventually going to be swapping out these buildings anyway. Actually making a profit now that I've got everybody working harder, so that's a good sign. Mr. Sour, it's not that late. Okay, how cold is this getting? So even on overdrive, even with maximized generator, maximized insulation houses, it's still not livable. So let's last as long as we can with the overdrive generator. Okay, darkness before dawn. One of our engineers has come crashing through the door, white-faced, demanding to see you. Run the calculations with the new data. The storm will pass in a couple of days, but the temperature just before the end will drop drastically. Nothing can protect us from such cold. Panic is starting to spread, and people are losing all hope. We have to stay strong. Oh man, my hope is just dropping. Okay. The sun is right there. I've just got to survive this a couple more days. Problem is, I'm going to have to turn off overdrive real soon. And that's going to be a problem. Oh yeah, I'm in the Pacific time zone, Mr. Sour, so it's not quite midnight yet for me. What is even happening? Over here it says, what? People refuse to work. They're not going to go to work today. They want to spend their final hours with their family. No, you have to work. You're a freaking coal thumper, you idiot. guard tower's operational. It looks like I'm actually getting on top of the sick people, sorta. Oh man. All right. Steam Coal Thumper, you are here, and you are here. And they'll be making enough that, oh well, I can't really fit another gatherer in there, can I? I can fit one over here. So yeah, so these thumpers, they make a pile of coal, then you've got to gather that pile with a gatherer or by just going after it directly. So what I might need to do is extend the range of this guy. Hopefully that'll be worth it. What am I researching now? Coal Thumper injection? Sure. Let's definitely do that. 10:31 says it's almost 3 a.m. What are you doing up? People are telling me I shouldn't be up. You guys are on the East Coast. Oh, generator stress level is critical. Okay, I'm going to turn off overdrive for a bit. It means it's going to get ridiculously cold. We've got... Oh, wow. And the medical posts are just dumping people out in the streets. Oh, crap. That's a technology I can research, isn't it? Healthcare installation. Yes. Okay, so we're not doing this. We're doing this. This is what I should have done. Just gonna staff up all these gatherers, try to get as much coal out of this as we can. We're actually doing surprisingly great on coal. Okay, so put it back in overdrive again. So I'm just going to be turning it on and off overdrive. Until we get to the end. Hopefully we make it to the end. Come on, robots. You can do it. Okay, we gotta turn it off overdrive again. Now suddenly everything's freezing again. They're dumping all the sick people out in the streets again. We're gonna patrol the streets, increase hope, stifle discontent. We've got 21 hours left before we run out of all fuel. The sun is right there. It is right there. We can manage that. Okay. So nervous. What's happening? People are abandoning their workplaces. Stop panicking, you jerks. You've got this. Okay. Overdriving again. See everybody? It's fine. Everything's fine. Oh, who's this? Miracles happen. It's a miracle. The man who went looking for his daughter is back? He brought her with him. He found her soon after leaving the city, but then they got lost. Had to wait for a lull in the blizzard to find their way back. Both exhausted and frostbitten, but very happy. So they just gave us a little dose of hope at the end. That is so sweet. Healthcare installation 2 researched. Okay, so what does that mean? So medical posts are actually comfortable. Let's turn off overdrive and see what happens. They remain chilly but usable. Yeah. Okay. With that technology, when I turn off overdrive, I don't just lose all of my infirmaries. So I guess let's go efficiency. This place can't make food anymore. That's fine. We got enough food. Wait. Okay, we can do a little bit more overdrive now. Come on. We're getting so close. Oh, what's happening? No, you have to work. You jerks. Come on. Facility's been shut down. Oh, the people who work here are sick. Come on. Wait, turn an overdrive off again. We're getting so close. Just let it calm down. Okay, turn it back on. I'm gonna be feathering this generator right up until the very end. Okay. Come back down again. Oh, what's happening? Work ceases. Most people abandon their workplaces to stay with their families. Only medical facilities are functioning. Holding its breath, waiting for the end. We have to stay strong. This? Oh, the child shelters. That's fine. If nobody's working, it means no one's in the child shelters. Oh man, it's getting so close. It just got even colder. The very last second, it got 150 degrees negative Celsius. It's just nothing I do can overcome that. I can turn on overdrive, and there's just no effect. It's like no freaking point. I might as well leave it off overdrive. Might as well turn the whole generator off. It's just not even making a difference. Wow. Kind of want to leave it at normal speed here. Got 104 sick people. No room in any of our medical facilities to hold them. They're all just lying around, languishing in pain in the streets. And 19 hours of coal left. That sun. It's getting so close. Guys, we can make it. Okay, I'll speed it up just a little bit. The storm ends. The wind dies down. The temperature finally starts to rise. An eerie silence descends on the city. Whoa. It's warming up so hard right now. Look at all them achievements. Bad at politics, what? I got like 5 achievements for that. Dan31 just translated the the negative 150 degrees Celsius to negative 238 degrees Fahrenheit. It's just ridiculous. Oh my gosh, what? This is a replay of the creation of my town? No way. This was always my favorite part of Civilization, was watching the replay of construction. So were they just like taking screenshots steadily over the course of the game? People spying on each other. That was something I did. Yep, I did that too. Yeah, I sort of did that. Yep. I wonder, is there even a way to beat this game without kicking in all of those kind of dystopian elements? We have gone too far. Hey, I didn't kick in the New World Order. Come on. We went too far, but the city survived. Was it really? Yes. Yes. Our children in the new warm climate can learn to be better people, but they're alive. 398 citizens, negative 30 degrees Celsius. And that's Frostpunk. So now I've unlocked other scenarios. I haven't checked these out yet. So now the next thing I got to do is play the arcs. I don't know what that is. I don't know how it's different from the main storyline. I'm going to find out, but I'll do it on a different day. So thank you for coming on this journey with me. Frostpunk is one of the coolest games I've seen in a long time. Definitely, as far as city builders go, it is right up there on top for me. I love 11-bit and the kind of games that they make, and I can't wait to see what they do next. I assume they'll keep expanding Frostpunk for a little while. That's what they did with this war of mine. But yeah, I love these guys. So, I'll put some links up here if you want to look at more videos and subscribe and stuff. People watching me on Twitch, it just looks like nothing's happening. So